name is Davon Bennett, AKA King Von. He's been on the street for too long. I want him off the street today.
And those people say that she was thought to have committed at least 15 shootings.
That fearsome status was amplified by Gahkirah's outsized presence on social media.
2 people who have been shot fatally, one of them being 17-year-old Gahkirah Barnes, who was just walking with a friend, and neighbors say a gunman fired, striking her at least 9 times.
Who do you think did it? Which that sent one final creepy reply. King Von did it.
Now, we gotta talk about this King Von and K.I story. There's a lot of videos out there on these two, but all the videos get so much information wrong. K.I has got to be one of the most fascinating gang members to come out of Chicago. K.I was born in the south side of Chicago, the heart of the city's notorious gang culture, in 1997. She grew up on 63rd and St. Lawrence, a street not even a 10-minute walk from Parkway Gardens, or as you probably know it, Oblock. She began repping STL, the same gang as FBG Duck, around 2010. This was right around the time when the war between the younger STL and Oblock members was changing from fistfights to shootouts. K.I was arguably one of the most infamous gang members from Chicago, with some articles describing her as a female assassin responsible for multiple deaths, but nearly all this infamy stems from one night. On August 10th, 2011, STL members, including K.I, were on the block shooting FBG Duck's freestyle music video. After they finished recording the video, a large group walked over to Parkway Gardens. At 11:35, they spotted Odee Perry on his bike and opened fire. Odee was struck and killed. But here's the first major misconception about K.I. She did not kill Odee. Although it is quite likely she was there, at least 4 people who were active in the streets at the time confirmed she was not the killer.
You know, they motherfuckers out to my she killed Odee and all that shit, man. That shit is non-existent, bro.
It is following Odee's death when King Von comes into the story and the personal beef between K.I and Von would really begin. In September of 2012, Von, along with other Oblock members, would catch K.I on a train and beat her badly. Von wasted no time and went straight to Twitter to mock the incident. These Twitter feuds between the two would become common in the years that followed. Von was no stranger to arguments and self-snitching on Twitter, with some insane tweets like the now deleted tweet, "I can name 5 GDs I done killed and 10 I done shot." Now, Twitter feuds between rival members were common in the early days of the Chicago drill scene, but the tweets between K.I and Von were particularly brazen. Like, these two were trolling the fuck out of the police with some incriminating tweets. A good example of their trolling is Von's tweets the day after the death of STL Bosstrells, saying things like, "Lol, you ain't a boss to me," or K.I.'s tweets after the killing of Jmoney. Jmoney was an Oblock member who was very close with Von and Lil Durk, but at the beginning of September 2013, he was shot and killed. Now, his death was particularly gruesome because he was stood over and shot 4 times in the head. K.I, of course, wasted no time to dissing him on Twitter, saying Jmoney ain't use his head, so he took it off. At this point, it was inevitable that King Von and K.I.'s beef was going to come to a deadly end. April 11th was Bosstrells' birthday, and STL was having a party to celebrate the late friend's birthday. But at 12:36 p.m. of that day, K.I made what would prove to be a disastrous mistake. She tweeted out her location. Within hours of the tweet being posted, King Von and allegedly Big A hopped into a car and drove to look for K.I. Von spotted K.I with her friends. He then produced a handgun and opened fire while yelling at them. K.I was hit and stumbled to a nearby porch where she collapsed and unfortunately died. FBG Butta and another man who were with K.I were also struck but thankfully survived. After Von's death, the Chicago Police Department released documents confirming Von was the killer, but they didn't have enough evidence to charge him. Von has alluded to this murder in a couple of songs like Grandson for President, where he says, "Try to run, get caught, that bitch got hit, that hoe was in the way, Oblock, we run the city, rest in peace, Big A." Von also talks about it in the unreleased song Wait. Now, it's pretty obvious why this song remains unreleased, because it's basically a confession to the murder. As Von raps, "Bitch, I was riding with Big A. We was riding down the tray, I hit the alley, told bro wait. You know King Von do his thing, I hopped out, no I don't play, 9 Beretta on my waist, I count the crowd, didn't hesitate." But the King Von K.I story doesn't end there, because when the mainstream media heard about the story of K.I, a teenaged female alleged killer, multiple articles were written about her and even a documentary was made. In an insane turn of events, the documentary team interviewed King Von. It's so wild to even think about the team making the documentary about K.I and interviewing her killer and putting it in the documentary without even knowing Von had murdered her. Von's whole story is crazy. I mean, you have international celebrities like LeBron listening to King Von, not knowing he's probably a serial killer. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is Ben in the Loop recording for Hip Hop Heat Daily. I'm approaching the 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys appreciate this video, I recommend you guys check out my channel. That's it for today's video. Peace.